Hey guys, how's it going? Tez back again with another video. And you might notice from the beginning of that video there wasn't my normal intro. I'm probably going to do some stupid little cutscene thing, but the purpose of this video is kind of something a little bit different to anything I've done before. It's a season review for Chelsea. Now this is also going to be going up on the TheFrontThree channel. That's the podcast that a few of you guys may have seen me on previously. They've got a YouTube channel and a Google Plus Hangout page. This is probably going to go up on their stuff before you see it on my channel. I think it's planning to go up on theirs on Wednesday, and I'm not going to release this on my channel until Saturday. So I'll leave all the links to their stuff in the description for you want to go and check those guys out. They've got a Google Plus Hangout page with 7,500 plus people over there. That you know, there's plenty of interaction between Barclays Premier League fans and lower league fans, etc. So if you want to go and check them out and get involved, then there's a link in the description. But basically, the gist of this video is, like I say, a Chelsea season review. Now, it probably won't be of much interest to those of you that aren't Chelsea fans, but if you want to stick around to just perhaps have some discussion in the comments, etc., then feel free to get involved, and you know, we can interact and stuff, and I'll be in the comment section for as long as this video is active, trying to you know, just put across my views, etc. But overall, for this particular season, Jose Mourinho's first year back at Stamford Bridge, I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the outcome. Obviously, Mourinho has brought in a completely new managerial style to what the core of the team are potentially used to, with players like Cech, actually got Frank Lampard and JT. But there's a lot of new blood in there that don't necessarily, when Mourinho first joined, they didn't necessarily understand the way that he likes to work a team, and the way that the extra work ethic he has from a lot of his players, and that he looks for from the entire squad, not only from the defence and the defensive midfielder, but from the entire 11 on the pitch. So we did start off quite slowly, you have to say, especially when he was still kind of nailing down what his best 11 was, and playing formations like the one we played away at Manchester United with the false nine with Andre Schürrle up top. Bit of experimentation, didn't necessarily work as well as it potentially could do, and I think actually our strikers kind of let us down in that regard this season. But we've had an okay year. Of course, finishing third in the Barclays Premier League is a very, very good finish for the club in the position that it's in right now. Of course, with the situation that arose towards the end of the season, it would have been nice to win the Premier League. We had a great chance to do so, but that loss against Sunderland really, really hurt us. But Sunderland had a fantastic end of season, and fair play to them for staying up. And unfortunately, we didn't necessarily have the grit and determination to grind out results to win us the BPL title. Manchester City did. They've got a fantastic squad there, and congratulations to them for picking up that title. But third place behind an extremely attacking Liverpool side and an extremely strong City side, both offensively and defensively. I'm pretty pleased with third place. We're extremely solid defensively, and you have to say, although I might be slightly biased, that the defensive partnership of JT and Gary Cahill is probably the best in the Barclays Premier League, if not one of the best in Europe this season. Very, very disappointed that JT isn't going to the World Cup from an England point of view. But I have to say, defensively, we're very, very solid. It's in the attacking sense, we've kind of had to rely too much on our midfield players this year, with especially Eden Hazard, Oscar, Willian, Schürrle, etc., to get us a goal. Samuel Eto'o has grown into the season as the months have gone on and scored a few goals. Fernando Torres has done his best all year long. I love Fernando. You guys know that I would defend him till the cows come home, but he hasn't had his best season last year. He was particularly good. I bet our top goal scorer all year round. This year, not necessarily as many goals as I might have liked from him, but still, he did 100%, or we put in 100% effort every single time he was on the pitch, and you can't ask for more than that if a player is low on confidence, etc. As long as they're still putting the work in and trying to you know, to create things for the rest of the team as well as have some chances of their own, then you know, you can't really knock them for that. But this has kind of gone off on a tangent about Fernando Torres. But offensively, we're still a little bit weak, but it's rumoured yesterday, as I'm recording this, it's rumoured yesterday, Tuesday, that Chelsea have supposedly signed Diego Costa for £32 million from Atletico Madrid. Now, if this is true, it's supposedly supposed to be officially confirmed later on in June, once I think either his contract has run out at Atleti, or that's just the time when they want to announce everything, you know, as we head from one season into the pre-season for the next year. Just prior to the World Cup, I think, is when they're planning to announce it. But £32 million, Diego Costa to Chelsea from Atleti, fantastic signing. Cannot be more pleased with a player of that sheer quality, player that has that work ethic and has effectively kind of been under the same managerial style under Diego Simeone that he will be under Mourinho, expecting a lot of work from him, a lot of running, a lot of determination, and he's got a little bit of arrogance about him, which is something that we don't necessarily have at Chelsea at the minute. And there are a few players that are a little bit too, to quote Tim Sherwood, too nicey. They haven't got much about them in an aggressive style. Obviously, you've got players that drive the team forward like JT, and he's a fantastic character to have in the dressing room. But you get players that are a little bit too nice to each other on the pitch. They're not got the the sort of aggressive streak to just grab someone by the scruff of the neck and be like, look, you need to do fucking better here, otherwise we're going to be in a bit of shit. So it'll be nice to have Diego Costa into the team to do that. He's obviously one of the best strikers on current form in the world right now, and hopefully he can continue that into the Premier League next season. Obviously, a few players have come to Chelsea and not necessarily done as well as they could do. Demba Ba was scoring goals freely at Newcastle, hasn't really done much at Chelsea, although of course a couple of the goals he scored this season have been particularly important, a la PSG, etc., and the goal against, or the opening goal against Liverpool with the little slip from Stevie Gerrard. Sorry, Liverpool. But yeah, Demba Ba, Samuel Eto'o has grown into the season, scored a few goals, but like I say, not really fulfilled his potential that he potentially could have done. Although, of course, coming from Russia, it was going to be hard to fit into a Barclays Premier League team straight away. But Torres we've covered, but Diego Costa is definitely the main aim. And hopefully, it looks like he's going to be the one to lead the club forward and progress on all fronts next year. Because, of course, Champions League semi-final this year, as well as the third place in the Premier League, is again particularly impressive, considering it's a brand new managerial style for a lot of the squad. They weren't used to how the manager likes to play things, and obviously with the way Eden Hazard, I don't want to say Eden Hazard let Atleti score, but his lapsing concentration defensively let Atleti in behind us on numerous occasions in the second leg to knock us out, and that's something that will eventually be kind of weaned out of the way that the squad plays. But obviously it's going to take more than 12 months, and Eden Hazard has spent his entire life just running forward, destroying teams, and he has for a lot of the season done a particularly good job of doing that defensive role, tracking back a la Willian and Schürrle, and doing his bit defensively. It just so happened that the one time he had a lapse in concentration was the Champions League semi-final second leg, where we kind of needed to hold out and make sure that we progressed through to the final. But these things happen. A Champions League semi in the first year with Mourinho back with a lot of new players in the team is very, very pleasing. I have to say, overall, very, very pleased with the way things are shaping up at Chelsea. Of course, a few players might be leaving this summer. Ashley Cole is rumoured to be leaving. Not too sure where he may be going. Potentially PSG. I know PSG are rumoured to have already signed Dani Alves this summer for Barcelona, so that could be an interesting lineup with Dani Alves on the right and Ashley Cole at the left, potentially to replace Maxwell. Not too sure. Big rumours going around in Spain that David Luiz is going to be on his way out to Barcelona FC in the next few weeks. That would be, I think the figure I've seen or I've heard is 39 million euros, which is a lot of money. And David Luiz is a big player, to be honest, suits Barcelona down to a T. He's a fantastic centre-back, fantastic holding midfielder, can play in both roles. That's exactly what they like to do there. And it might give Javier Mascherano the freedom to go back into CDM rather than sit at centre-back. But of course, Puyol's retiring at Barcelona, so they're going to need someone to replace him. They needed a centre-back anyway, so maybe they'll be looking to get two centre-backs. But anyway, David Luiz is rumoured to be going to Barcelona. Obviously, I'd be gutted to see him go. I love Dave. But he is not a liability defensively, but he's more suited to the more relaxed playing style in La Liga than the uptight, close quarters, 100% constant on the go BPL style of football. But he has done a fantastic job at Chelsea, and truly grateful for everything that he's done for the club. And if we can make a little bit of money on him on the side as well, then I wouldn't be overly sad to see him go, so long as we can get in a world-class replacement. Who that might be, I don't know. I'd have to go off and see who might be available and where they might be coming from, etc., and how old they are, etc. But also, we have to see what happens at the World Cup. Some young star may just pop up and be like, I'm going to be one of the best centre-backs in the world in the next few years, and put in a real massive performance on a world stage, and that might spark some interest. We signed Oscar because of his performances in the Olympics, so you never know, something might happen over the summer with in that regard, and David Luiz might have an absolute stormer and attract interest from even more different places. PSG do like a Brazilian centre-back with Ajax and Thiago Silva, and clearly if David Luiz is going to put in a performance in the World Cup with Brazil, it's going to be alongside Thiago Silva, so who knows what might happen in that regard. But I do think we need a centre-back, because JT and Gary Cahill are fantastic. If David Luiz is on his way out, I prefer Branislav Ivanovic at right back. but if he wants to play at centre-back, and he can play at centre-back quite well, but I do prefer him at right-back. Azpilicueta is clearly extremely accomplished at either right-back or left-back, so we're pleased to have him in the squad. He obviously got Player of the Year the other night in the Chelsea Awards, Chelsea Player of the Year Awards, so very well done to him for that. But we don't need a left-back, because we've got Ryan Bertrand coming back from Aston Villa, and he is a very, very good left-back. Very pleased with the way that he kind of almost nailed down a first-team spot at Villa last season and put in some very, very good performances for them. Obviously, we know he could do a job for us, either left mid or left back. He proved that in the Champions League final in 2012. So we know Ryan Bertrand could be a very, very good player. If Ashley Cole is to be on his way out, wouldn't be too worried about replacing him because of Ryan Bertrand, because of Azpilicueta's what's the word I'm looking for? Diversity and the ability to play either wing-back role. We've got Thomas Kallas. Obviously, he prefers to play at centre-back, but can play at right-back if needs be. But again, we've got Branislav Ivanovic for that. Of course, Kurt Zouma is now on the Chelsea books, back out on loan at Saint Etienne since we brought him in January. I'd forgotten about that, actually, so we may not need a centre-back, but obviously moving forward into the midfield. Creative midfielders we do have a lot of, but you never can have too much talent in a squad like that. Obviously, Diego Costa is going to be fantastic up top. If Fernando Torres is going to leave to go to either Atleti, he was rumoured to be going to Inter Milan, but there was one criteria saying he wanted them to get Champions League football if he was going to go to Inter, and I believe they're fifth in the table right now and don't stand a chance of qualifying for the Champions League. So it would look like Fernando, if he is going to leave Chelsea, might be going back to Spain. But again, that story may develop throughout the summer, and as of yet, nothing is confirmed. Demba Ba, I wouldn't be too sad to see him leave. Samuel Eto'o, obviously very, very experienced, still has a little bit of pace and a good finish, so would like to see him stay, although perhaps on a little bit less wages. And Frank Lampard hopefully will sign a contract extension. JT will hopefully sign a contract extension. We could probably do with another centre mid, to be completely honest. Ramirez is very, very good, although this season he's been a bit not worse than last season, but less effective, so to speak. He hasn't scored as many goals. He's been pretty good, solid defensively, but he does like a cheeky little elbow to someone's face or a cheeky stamp, and I'm not too keen on that side of his game that appears to have developed more and more over the past 12 months. So hopefully, if he can kind of get rid of that side of his game and form a proper partnership with Nemanja Matic, then if we could get in another defensive player to add to the rotation in that area, then that would be particularly pleasing. And obviously, Frank is hopefully going to sign a contract extension, so Frank Lampard always is going to have a place in the first team squad. Maybe not the first team 11, but still play a massive role in the squad of 18, etc. on a match day. Wingers, Willian Schürrle, Demba Ba, what am I even talking about? Willian Schürrle, Hazard, got Christian Atsu out on loan at Vitesse. He might come back. I haven't seen too much of him playing, to be honest, but he might be in the first team fray when next season comes around. We'll have to wait and see. But there's definitely plenty of movement that can be done. You can never turn down a world-class player. If someone says you have a very good squad already, but he is one of the best players in the world in his position right now, you have to accommodate a player like that. So, not sure what's going to happen throughout the summer. We've potentially going to lose David Luiz, potentially going to lose Ashley Cole, potentially going to lose Fernando Torres and or Demba Ba, and potentially bringing in Diego Costa. So, transfer-wise, we're okay. Obviously going to have some money to spend, which is a godsend to Roman. Thank you very much for putting the money into the club, but we'll have to wait and see what happens and transpires over the summer. But as a whole, this season, A++. Very pleased with the third place in the Premier League. Very pleased with the semi-final appearance in the Champions League. Could have done better in the domestic cup competitions, but obviously the FA Cup is a main priority over the League Cup. And we do have a great history with the FA Cup in the past decade or so. So if we could continue that next year, that would be particularly pleasing as well. But this video has been going on for almost 15 minutes now, so I'm kind of going to wrap things up. And I was kind of hoping this would only be about 8 minutes long, but I've done my normal Ches ramble. So if you want to check, if you are watching this on the TheFrontThree and you want to check stuff from me out, I'm a FIFA commentator, then feel free to check. Any links will be in the description or links on the Google Plus page, etc. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Chesnoid Gaming. I'm on Instagram at Chesnoid if you want to follow me over there as well. But that's basically me in a nutshell, and I'm going to wrap this up now. So Chelsea fans, definitely some good signs for next season. Barclays Premier League, be ready for us. Europe, be ready for us. We want our Champions League crown back.